Greetings once again. We're back with another weekly outlook. So last week I think it was a very good week, regardless of all the fundamentals and all the news that have been happening, and also regards to Russia and Ukraine having a bit of being in war. So the market literally reacted last week. We had very long week. I think it was more or less like 80 to 100 pips, if I'm not wrong. And now we also saw that the market where it was closing, it also closed in a bullish manner. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to start with our daily. As you can see that long term we've been and we still are in a bullish manner, right? So what's going to happen is that now I'm just going to mark my highs and the high lows and high highs. Just gonna go about it. So this is what we have. This is our higher lows and higher highs. And most probably I just can do this with my daily zone. And also just come back here. But I'll just also be fixing it as I go down the time frames. So we have this as our levels. Just fix it. We have this as our levels. So it's our all-time low, or we can say it's our daily low and our daily high. And we also had this, but I can't say daily because now this has happened a long time ago. I think it's like 21 September, which is like a couple of months ago. So, but if we're done with daily, we're gonna go to 4H. 4H, as I said, we're gonna fix these levels as we need to make sure that they're in a proper manner. We're just gonna fix this. I think it was okay. Didn't even have to fix it. And also even this one is okay. This one just to extend and make it a proper zone. And then just gonna zoom in. Right. We have this now as our 4 hour high, which is right here. Just gonna also zoom in. Not zoom in, make it a zone. Now with this zone, it's gonna be different color. Just having it as a 4H. You can see now that we've been in a bullish trend after this, and then we started dropping. There's a bit of a range here. It's a messy chart. And as I'm looking back to this, you can see that we have this is our low, but this is our low. Just gonna clone this, just have it down here. As you have that as our low. Now on 4H, we're bit done. So on 4H, we're still in a bullish manner because we failed to break above our low, right? We just rejected and also went up. So also we're still below above this daily low, and so it means that we're bit consolidating because we're in between our daily high and our daily low, and also in between our 4 hour high and our 4 hour low. So now we're gonna go to 1H, check it there on 1H, and also have our our zones, right? So you're gonna see that our low was still here, our high was here, and another high, it's just a bit here, and then another one is yeah. And you're gonna see that I'm gonna just now calculate or just put in my hourly levels. I know it's gonna be as if it's a bit messy, but you are gonna understand why I'm doing like that. It's our minor level is and 4 hours. Also did this. Also here. Also down here. But now since we broke above this, this now becomes our higher low. Just gonna mark it now. Just also move the ones that don't make any sense anymore. So this is now our higher low. This one, we remove it, right? And then we have that one. Then we could potentially just have it like this. And also, most probably just clone it and see if it makes sense. If it doesn't, we'll fix it. I think it does make sense. Just gonna have it like this, and also just fix this. Yeah. So as you can see that we had a bit of a falling channel or falling wedge. I think it's a channel or a wedge. So we have price breaking to the upside. And now we have these as our minor levels, but we have this as our major level. So now what is gonna happen is that just gonna extend it like this. And what I'm gonna be anticipating is to see the price coming back here to just up there, or we're just gonna see most probably price coming down back here, and then we might potentially see this as a continuation move. So probably see something like this to the 4 hour level. And if you break above the 4 hour level, then you can head to the daily level. But if you fail to break the 4 hour level, then you can potentially be continuing with the range to come back to the 4 hourly low, and then yeah, just like that. So what I'm anticipating to see is to see price moving in this manner, just hitting our highs and potential highs. So a move from here could be at 90 to 100 pips here. It's not bad. And then to the other one will be 130. So this is what we're gonna be potentially looking for on KJPY for the upcoming week. And yeah, that's all. Then now we're gonna move to the next one. So this is also another JPY pay. We're start on daily. The very same thing that we did. And yeah, you can see that we are also currently consolidating between daily levels, and there's no potential movement to the upside or to the downside or potential trend on a daily perspective. So now we're just gonna see what 4 hour and 1 hour is telling us, but daily is just saying in between that. I know that also we could have this as our high and have this another one. So potentially I can have this as our low. Just not focus on this. Just also have this as our high. So just gonna do this. Also clone for this. As you see that we currently have understanding what is happening with the perspective. Now on a 4 hour perspective, we're still having we had a rejection here, and we saw price now failing to break to the downside and in fact rejected. So now for our 4 hours, what are we having? We're having this as our lower high because we have been on a downtrend, right? So now we're gonna have to draft it as a 4 hour level. Now it's gonna be a bit small now since it's the wicks are not that big. So this is what we have in a 4 hour perspective. And we could also just add our our channel. Just see that it's a bit of a channel, a bit of a wedge, but it would make sense for potentially when we get to 1 hour. Now when we get to 1 hour, you're gonna see that we have something like this, and we have a purple falling channel, and this was our 1 hour lower high, and it got broken. It also got retested at the same time. Now, what we are currently, it also became the recent lower high, which is going to take it to the stage in the higher low. And we're seeing that we broke up part of the falling wedge or falling channel. We have this, and then this is just a break. And then the support is still holding. And this was a bit of a confluence. We were supposed to check this. I think I didn't really see. I saw the break, but I thought it was too much for my stop loss to be down and something clip, so I didn't take it. But if I was able to see it as it was coming back, then I was just gonna take the break above this on a lower time frame, but it's okay. What you're currently now anticipating is to see price breaking above and now going to the upside, I meant to say. Or we could see potentially price now not breaking above, but just coming back down to the downside. So that's what we could potentially see. But for now, 1 hour, we've shown that we are bullish rather than bearish. Right? So let me just also put in this. Let's say that lower high, open. And yeah, this is the only thing that you're currently looking at. And it's waiting to see more balls crossing to the upside. And then yeah, so moving to GBP also gonna start on 1 day daily and just see what is currently happening. So it's a bit nice to see that you had a bit of say multiple rejections on the daily side, and also even on the not even from last year, but also even this year we had multiple double rejections, and now so this is our daily levels. And we currently just also not even ranging, but this looks like we are trying to push to the upside. So we could potentially see our GBP, JPY pushing to the upside, or we would see what does the lower time frame kind of tell us about the movement. So I'll do this. I have two levels here. And then another one that has just recently been rejected. And potentially, I think we could also just put in this one for the sake of accommodating every level that you have. And delete this. And now we're going to go 4 hours. And now you're going to see that sometimes we don't want to have a lot of mess, but it's okay. We have this, but I'm just going to fix it to accommodate the bodies. And also just reduce my zone. And also same here. Just going to go down. Yeah. Also just have this like this. So looks like for 4 hours we're still bearish because as we were bullish, we broke below our higher low and we went down. Essentially, if you are having our last week's setup was completed with this move to the downside, which was 200 pips drop, as you can see. So this was just like in 1-2 days, I think, and we had everything. So in 4 hours, I have this zone up here, and it's also 4 hours. So we need to also consider color. Make sure that we don't confuse ourselves, right? But this is still structure. There's nothing we changing. There's nothing we start doing much, and that's it. There's nothing else I can do in 4 hours. It all ends here. On 1 hour, it also doesn't really show me anything except for this movement to the upside, which looks like it's a minor bullish trend. So I'm literally just gonna anticipate that most probably we would be seeing something like this, converging to this level, since this is a 1 hour high low, lower high matrix, not high low, and then see something like this in another chart. But it looks like it's gonna be a long week for us. Would be just waiting for setups to build out, or the market to build out, so that we have C setups. So we could see something like this, an inverse and a shoulder, and a drop, and even this drop is like 190 pips. Or if that doesn't happen, you can see a break above and retest this for our lower high before we start seeing a drop. And that's where I stop. Well, so there's nothing that I'm seeing right now, and there's nothing that is changing. And then day GBP USD looks like every GBP pair is not really tradable at the moment. So we have one, two, three. Just gonna reset this to make it more closer to what you currently are. So have this down here, then have it up there. Just gonna be looking at what would happen between these two zones, between this high and this low. If you're gonna still be ranging between, or we're gonna break it upside and go to the top one, or what's gonna happen is that we're gonna break it downside and also retest the bottom one. So making a daily level. Daily levels are sorted. We'll go to 4 hours and to see how the price looks like on 4 hours, and also how the levels look like on 4 hours. And okay, I don't know what's happening. Looks like I'm currently having some network issues, but yeah, we're back on now. Also have this, the lower high. Also have that, lower high. And I think that's all there is to it. Currently, where we are, could potentially say this is what's gonna happen. This is what we have as another 4 hours, and maybe we'll probably see a move to the upside. But that's where I'm gonna stop. I'm not gonna try to force things and just say that we are going to go, or where are we gonna go, because we want to anticipate, but we also want to see the market moving. So in 4 hours, I think this is also 4 hours. So we'll also just do this. Just write it daily and daily plus 4H lower high. I'm just gonna open it up. And then that's it. Yeah, that's currently what we have. And just go to 1 hour and see what 1 hour is saying. Also have this. So what I would potentially be looking for at the moment is to see price breaking above this, and then just looking for buys. But if we don't want to stay out and just get for and wait for momentum to kick in. So I'll be looking for this, just that only. Maybe we could see 30 minutes and see what 30 minutes shows us. That looks like we will have that lower high here. If we break above it, then we could potentially see that break above. And also, we could have this as the confluence to say turn that breakout and also structural breakout. We could be holding 160 pip move. But let us stick to our 1H, just wait there. Then I'm gonna move to the next one, which is dollar CAD. So when I move to daily, just see what daily is showing us. This also gonna just do this. Daily we had one and had two, three. I wouldn't be focusing much on this, but it was a level. Then just make them daily levels and just see how on the lower time frame they're acting up, or how it is acting up, or just reacting on the lower time frames. Just gonna have it like this. And also you can see that the way we rejected the current level that we're plotting now, it was a very strong move to the downside, and we could potentially see continuation to the downside, or we could just see a continuation of a ranging market. Because in 4 hours, it is indeed ranging between these levels. So we go to 4H and see what is happening on 4H. Yeah, it's a bit messy on 4H as you can see. So it's waiting to see something like this. We're just gonna also go back, plot it the way it's supposed to be plotted. Just also reduce it so that it doesn't look a bit messy. Just also falls within the wicks. So also doing the very same thing on daily. In 4 hours, I'm on this level. Sorry, I don't know where my mind is at. And we have this as a 4 hour level. So I'd also suggest that one thing that you can do for yourself is that you don't have a lot of ways because they're a bit of a problem, and you don't want to now have only ways on your on your charts and they're very long. So you could have just this small rectangle and just have it like that. So I'm having this, and I'm also seeing something like this. So it's a bit of a rising wedge, and you could potentially see a break to the downside. But then again, we don't want to force anything. We just want to see how the price will react to each and every zone. Both 1 hour and 1 hour, as you can see, that we had a break out of this higher low. And if you did take a sell here, it could potentially be would have been 80 pips, 80 pips stop loss, and just 111 to break even, but we only go break even at 1 is to 1, so you'd have been a break even right now, just waiting for the market to continue playing out. So I'm just waiting to see how the market will play out. Not gonna force anything. Could potentially see price react rejecting this 4 hour high low and going up. So we're just waiting. And go to the last one, which is dollar SAR, which is the South African rand. And we start also on daily. And funny enough, this looks like it's been on a bearish, but also on a long term we've been bullish. So we can also start here and see that we rejected this. Also have this as our high. And also I'd love to see where we are as the current market and just see that this having as our lower highs as we're going down, and we had this as our lower high. We'll just stop there and then let's see more when we go down the time frames. Because I can see that we're having a bit of a falling channel, or we could be having a reversal to the upside. So we'll just be looking at how the price will be reacting as we go down the time frames. So and also we want to cater for if we do break to the downside, and just understand that this could potentially be our target right here. And I think yeah, we're done. Wanna go on 4H and see what is happening on 4H. Love to fix my zones. Just be having them here. Because this is our daily low high. Also our daily high. It's one of the daily highs. I think we have another one just above that. Yes, we do. I'm also just gonna fix it. Doesn't really need to be fixed. And I'm gonna fix this one also. So on 4H, it's a bit messy. It really is messy. But we had this, now we have this. That looks like we are bullish because we broke below We broke above this level right here. So now this remains our higher low until we break below it. So I wouldn't be focusing on anything at the moment because now it is going against everything. It is going against our our USD CAD. And we'll see what the dollar index is saying. You can see that we have week below our 1 hour lower high, or 1 hour higher low, and we could potentially see ourselves retesting this. But we could potentially see a continuation on of our daily level. Could potentially see a continuation for daily level to the downside. You can see this is what we have on daily. So we could see something like a drop, but we'll just wait and see what happens. Let me just now make it like this and just leave it like that. Okay, so yeah, that's all we have for the current week. For the next week, that's what we're looking for. And another thing is we can go to our dollar index. I'm just gonna leave silver at the moment because it's like gold. Don't want to trade it when there's a bit of uncertainty. It could be going up, it also could be going down. So you can see that we really retested or rejected this level and we should usually be coming to these bottom levels before we could be deciding that we are going up. But let me just not focus on silver. It's gonna go on dollar index and clear everything out too. Also, if we can go down to 1 hour, you will see that it reacted to what we anticipating. We had this target hit, but unfortunately we didn't have that on hit. So I'm just gonna delete everything. It's gonna go back to our daily where we always start. If that is a high, if this is a high low, if this is a high low, if this also is a high low. So we are indeed bullish up until we break below this. That's nothing, is nothing I can add more from what I just plotted daily. Because that's the only thing that matters on daily. We don't want to be forcing trend lines and forcing anything. Going to 4 hours, we'd love to see if there's anything that we could potentially change and maybe see in a different manner. Don't have anything that I could potentially change. Still seeing price coming down to retest this higher low, which is also a 4H high, a daily 4H high low. That's also going to be adding that. Just pushing it to the left. Just make it a bit bigger. And then down here, it's also just that higher low that we have on daily. You see that we are indeed just going up. I think this also goes as supply and demand, but don't check that. This is our high low. We could potentially be seeing price just dropping to this in a 1 hour minor trend minute. And from there, it's either we're gonna break to the downside or just push it to the upside. But we're still gonna have to consider what does the 1 hour tell us. So as the 1 hour is indeed just trying to trend to the downside. So this was our lower high. So until we break above that 1H lower high, oh, sorry, until we break above that 1H lower high, we'll still be dropping. So now this goes with our GBP USD going up and our USD CAD going continuing to the downside. So yep,